So when I start a discussion in many cases, I really want to get the reaction from the audience in terms of where they play and how they actually interact with the topic at hand. I pretty much started this whole conversation on the channel. I don't know if anybody else was doing it about money hatting and PlayStation because, for the most part, you guys remember very clearly when Microsoft was about to buy Activision and Blizzard and King, one of the biggest things that people brought up was that, you know, Microsoft was trying to buy an established publisher. When they bought Bethesda, the same concern came up. At the same time, people pointed out and said, well, PlayStation's bought publishers before. It's also bought studios before. What's actually the challenge and what's the problem here? A lot of folks said, well, in PlayStation's case, they usually nurture these studios and invest in them to be able to bring their games to the PlayStation platform. I remember that argument. Do y'all remember that argument? If you remember that argument, please help me, tell me I'm not crazy in the comment section. So when I brought up this whole money hatting thing, my goal was to show that all this talk about PlayStation investing in these studios was just a partial claim. Now, yes, the studios now belong to them, and they are investing into their own personal studios like Xbox was. But at the same time, PlayStation was busy money hatting third-party games to make its own platform look much more relevant than it actually was. What this has done is this has now brought everybody to the point where we want to play the whataboutism game because I've targeted PlayStation in this conversation. However, my own stance on it is whoever does it is scummy. If a third party is making a game and the game does not belong to you, the studio does not belong to you, you did not commission the game to be developed, and you go block it from another platform, you're trash. That's it. Whether you're Xbox, whether you're Nintendo, whether you're Sony, I believe that they are trash for doing it. This is why I have no particular, in a sense, pride in playing in any of these platforms anymore. I was already done with consoles in 2016. The only console that kept me here was PlayStation. To that, I got a comment. Somebody said that I'm lying. They said, bro, this dude lies every video. This is the problem we have. People will be saying you're lying, and then they're like, okay, what did I lie about? Actually, it's not that I lied. It's that it comes out here. It says, only singles out targets PlayStation paying for exclusivity. That's not true. When I made my stalker video, this person, whoever you are, you weren't here when the community sat me down and was lecturing me about exactly what the stalker situation was. Even Warhammer just recently, this is Dark Tide, I made a video about it saying if anybody knew about the arrangement with Xbox, if they money hatted that game, we needed to know what the information was. Because overall, I do not like the whole situation. In fact, I made a more recent video of my thoughts on Xbox's exclusivity, and I'm sure it really shocked a lot of Xbox fans. One of my Xbox fans, I don't know if they're Xbox fans, but one of my audience members, they said, you're part of a secret organization trying to destroy the world, when I actually made my video that said Xbox needs to bring its exclusives to PlayStation, every single one of them, because it makes money from doing it, and it will put it at a very profitable advantage and shift the industry to a different place. And a lot of Xbox fans have said, no, you're crazy. So this talk about there's no way this dude claims that he's a PlayStation fan, that's nonsense, dude. You don't even know anything about the channel. I think you probably have just showed up for the first time. And he says when he targets PlayStation in every video, I've told y'all, PlayStation is a platform that I know about on the console space, the ins and the outs, and I pay very close attention to them because I spend money on PlayStation. You see, let me give you some. I think my fellow PlayStation fans, you guys are so used to people actually bowing down and licking PlayStation's boots that hearing anything different is just so jarring. And here we are. You're in a learning experience where you will grow. And he said, and lies about Xbox not paying for exclusivity. That's not true. You're lying about me. This is what you're doing. Xbox never stopped paying for exclusivity. I can't rock with all the line. When did Xbox pay for exclusivity? Tell me. I want to know so that I can make the screw you Xbox videos and come around with it. Because again, you're talking about this, and we've mentioned it in different videos. We talked about the Tomb Raider one. We've talked about even the possibility that, like these other games that I mentioned, were money hatted by Xbox. But this particular thing is coming from my fellow PlayStation fans who cannot just hear the truth. You can't hear the truth about PlayStation without it actually, in a sense, burning your ears. Because you've, in a sense, attached your identity to a box. It's so weird. You're citing movies. This person said music, Spotify, Apple, and third-party deals, deals with artists, make their albums exclusive to the Spotify service. See, you can still buy those songs, can't you? Right? You can still buy those songs on like a, like a physical disc or other media. So this talk about bringing the movie and the music industry into it is weird, because what you want to do is you want to defend a bad practice, which is money hatting. This particular practice, I'm going to stay on its neck, and I know PlayStation is at the nexus of it, and I'm not going to stop talking about it because it's actually bad for the industry. It's bad for developers. Look at Final Fantasy now, with the developers coming out to say they're not meeting profit expectations. I talk about Stellar Blade not having its sales potential that it could have reached if it came on a console, a platform like PC, and people still want to defend it. They'll tell me, it's because you can't play Stellar Blade. Like, who the heck are these people? Like, they just come and just talk without actually considering what in the world they're saying. What do I care about being able to play the game or not when I'm talking about other people not able to play the game, and I'm a PlayStation fan and I have a PlayStation? Like, are you guys even thinking, like, when you say these things, or are you just venting like a fifth grader that is, emotionally charged all over the place without actually considering the things they're saying? I cannot believe that my fellow PlayStation fans are the best at advocating for things that do not favor the gaming industry. They will literally, and PlayStation has corrupted most of your mind to the point where you champion the bad things that they do. This is why when I even talk about PlayStation in the light of not even negativity, like what they're doing, like, PlayStation will be doing something. I'll make a video and you guys are crying about it. Like, look at this. This is on the video on their Crimson Desert. Okay, this comment is why are they even trying to take Crimson Desert? And I made the video saying, this is what I said. And I gave PlayStation a high compliment. I said, PlayStation can make a game like this. Why are they bothering trying to money hat it? And this person is coming out here saying that I'm lying. You see, we have to talk about this. We have to actually talk about it to the point where people can have better reflection of what's going on. If Xbox, who's been, really poor at managing their many, many studios, if they touch any game from a money-hatted perspective, they're scumbags for that. That's for sure. Everybody has actually pointed out that these guys do not do well in managing their studios, and they're going to go out there and start money-hatting a game. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I strongly believe that right now they need to be put under the microscope, as well as PlayStation. PlayStation needs to be, investing in its own studios. It needs to be making games, AA games, to fill the gap. I mean, look at PlayStation trying to money hack Crimson Desert, and the former Gravity Rush director at the same time is coming out saying, I would love the opportunity, if I was given, to direct another Gravity Rush game if the opportunity arises. I'm thinking, really, you have these kinds of games, you have these kinds of dedicated folk who would make your AA games, yet it's more expedient for them to go ahead and put money in other studios. The same with Xbox. Xbox, you've had all these studios, and if you're money hatting or looking towards money hatting games, it's a stupid move, because you are going to take money that you could put in your own ecosystem, in your own pipeline, to go and lock down games that people were going to get anyways. It's the craziest thing ever. And to see people defending it or trying to gaslight, this is common PlayStation hyper fan tactic. They'll tell you that you're crazy. Don't trust your own eyes. They'll tell you you're lying when you actually say what everything you're seeing is right in front of everybody. They'll come out and categorize it as a lie. That's what they do. And I point out this thing so that you guys can see. It's insane. The gaming industry, I don't think, is really going to advance. I think the question many people are asking now is, why is this so expedient to talk about, money hatting when it's always been done in the industry? Because it's bad for the consumer. That's why. Even though it's been done for many years. It's like saying paying to play online, even though it's been done for many years. Why are we bothering to talk about it? Because it's bad and anti-consumer. Doesn't matter when we kick off the conversation. What we need to see is these, console platforms making the change, asking you to pay for the, the privilege to play a game that you bought online with internet that you already paid for. I mean, these things, how do people not see that these are some of the things we should be advocating against? I mean, are we gamers that demoralized where we don't really care anymore? I mean, if y'all don't care, that's fine. I do care. I'll make videos on it. So let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. Peace out.